You didn't fall behind. You woke up in a race that started before you even knew there was a starting line. Rent was waiting, food was waiting, bills were waiting, and while you're trying to figure out how adulthood got this expensive, your phone is showing you people your age buying cars, moving out, traveling, launching businesses, and somehow looking like they skipped the struggle part. So now, your normal life feels slow. Your first paycheck feels smaller than it should, and every small purchase feels like proof that you're finally moving forward until the money disappears again. But here's what nobody tells you. Most people in their 20s are not behind. They're early. The real danger is believing you're already too late. Nobody really tells you how fast adulthood starts charging interest. 1 minute, you're thinking about freedom, your own money, your own place, your own decisions, and then the first rent payment shows up like it has been waiting outside your door since you were 16, before you even get the chance to feel grown. The basics start taking pieces of you: rent, food, transportation, phone bill, insurance, gas, groceries, that somehow cost more every time you walk into the store. And it's weird, because nobody is asking you to live extravagantly. You're not buying yachts. You're not flying private. You're not eating gold-covered steak. You're just trying to exist. But existing has a monthly subscription now. And that's the first thing that makes people in their 20s feel behind. Not failure, not laziness, not bad character, just the shock of realizing that basic survival is expensive before ambition even gets a turn. You thought adulthood would feel like finally stepping into your life, but for a lot of people, it feels like stepping into a room where the lights are already on, the bill is already due, and everyone expects you to know where the fuse box is. So you start working, you start earning, and somehow the money disappears before it feels like it ever belonged to you. The paycheck comes in with your name on it, but rent already saw it first. The grocery store saw it second. The phone company saw it third. The car, the bus, the insurance, the tax system, the little emergencies that pop up at the worst possible time, they all get in line, and by the time you finally look at what's left, you're not thinking about wealth. You're thinking, how is this adulthood? Then you open your phone, and that might be where the pressure gets worse, because in real life, people are tired, people are stressed, people are trying to stretch money until Friday. But online, nobody looks like that. Online, everybody is in an airport. Everybody is in a new apartment. Everybody is starting a business. Everybody is buying a car. Everybody is at brunch on a Tuesday, looking like life is sponsored by confidence. And you're watching it from your bed, eating something you didn't even really want, wondering why your life feels so ordinary. That's when the comparison starts. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet. You see someone your age in a nice car, and suddenly your bus ride feels personal. You see someone moving into their own place, and suddenly your room feels smaller. You see someone posting big things coming, and suddenly your regular job feels like a confession. And the dangerous part is that you're not comparing your life to their life. You're comparing your full day to their best 5 seconds. You see the vacation. You don't see the credit card balance. You see the new outfit. You don't see the overdraft warning. You see the apartment tour. You don't see the roommate helping cover the rent. You see the business announcement. You don't see the fact that they haven't made profit yet. But your brain doesn't separate that. Your brain just says, they're moving faster than me. And now, your normal progress starts looking like failure. That's how people in their 20s get tricked into feeling behind before they've even had time to build anything real. Because the internet makes everybody's highlight reel look like a timeline you were supposed to follow. There's the first real paycheck. That moment feels different. You see the money hit your account, and for a second, you feel powerful. Not rich, but like you can finally breathe. Like maybe now things are about to change. Maybe now you can buy the shoes, go out more, upgrade the phone, eat somewhere nice without checking the price twice. And honestly, it makes sense. Because when you've spent years waiting to finally earn your own money, that first paycheck doesn't feel like income. It feels like proof. Proof that you made it out of dependence. Proof that your time is worth something. Proof that you're becoming an adult. But then, the paycheck gets divided. Taxes take a piece before you even touch it. Bills take their piece right after. Debt takes another piece. Food takes another. Transportation takes another. And then, lifestyle sneaks in quietly. Not because you're careless, because you're tired of feeling limited. You tell yourself, I work hard, I deserve something, and you do. That's what makes it complicated, because it's not always reckless spending. Sometimes, it's emotional recovery. You're not just buying food, you're buying relief after a long day. You're not just buying clothes, you're buying the feeling that you're finally showing up as the version of yourself you imagined. You're not just going out, you're buying distance from the boring, stressful, repetitive parts of life. So the paycheck comes, and it goes, and at first, you think the problem is that you don't make enough. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes the deeper problem is that you thought income meant freedom. And then you realized income without direction just becomes a hallway everybody walks through. Money comes in, everybody takes what they're owed, and you're left holding what remains, trying to make a life out of the leftovers. This is where time starts playing games with people, because in your 20s, investing sounds like something you do later, when you make more, when things calm down, when you have extra money, when you finally feel stable. And that makes sense in the moment, because when your account is low, investing feels almost disrespectful. Like, how are you supposed to think about the stock market when you're thinking about groceries? How are you supposed to care about compound interest when your car needs repairs? How are you supposed to invest when every month feels like a small negotiation with survival? So you wait, and waiting feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels like, I'll do it when I'm ready. But money has this strange rule. It doesn't only reward amount, it rewards time. And your 20s are filled with the one thing older people wish they could buy back: time. Even small amounts have room to grow when they start early. But when you delay because the amount feels too small, you miss the point. The amount was never the only advantage. The years were. That's why someone can look back at 35 and realize they didn't just miss investing money. They missed letting money sit long enough to become something else. And that's painful, because nobody feels the cost of waiting while they're waiting. There's no alarm, no bill, no warning message saying, you just lost 5 years of compounding. It just quietly disappears, and by the time it becomes obvious, the easiest years to start are already behind you. Debt rarely walks in looking dangerous. It usually walks in looking helpful. A credit card gives you breathing room. Buy now, pay later makes the price look smaller. A car loan makes the upgrade feel possible. Student loans sound like an investment in the future. Financing turns, I can't afford this, into, I can afford the payment. And that's the trap, because the monthly payment makes the decision feel smaller than it is. You stop asking, how much does this cost? And start asking, can I manage the payment? That one shift can quietly change your whole financial life, because future income starts getting claimed before it arrives. Next month's paycheck already has hands on it, the month after that too, and the month after that. At first, it doesn't feel like a problem, because the payments are manageable. A little here, a little there, minimum payment, installment plan, car note, subscription, another small charge. But small obligations stacked together become a lifestyle, and suddenly, your income is not free to move. It has instructions before it even arrives. That's when debt stops being a tool and starts becoming a schedule. You wake up, you work, you get paid, and the money immediately leaves to cover decisions you made when you were trying to feel okay. That's why so many people in their 20s feel financially behind. They're not just paying for today, they're paying for yesterday. And yesterday keeps showing up every month. There's a certain kind of spending that doesn't look emotional from the outside. It just looks normal. New clothes, better food, a nicer phone, a night out, a trip, a room upgrade, a car upgrade, a little more convenience, a little more comfort. But underneath it, there's often something deeper happening. You're trying to feel progress, because progress in your 20s can be hard to see. You might be working every day and still not feel successful. You might be trying hard and still not have much saved. You might be doing better than you were 2 years ago. But because everything costs more, it doesn't feel like improvement. So you buy something visible, something that proves life is not standing still, something that says, I'm not stuck. And for a moment, it works. The new outfit makes you feel different. The dinner makes the week feel less heavy. The phone makes you feel upgraded. The trip gives you a memory that feels bigger than your routine. But then, the feeling fades, and the payment remains. That's the part people don't talk about enough. Sometimes we don't spend because we're greedy. We spend because we're tired of waiting for our life to feel like it's beginning. And businesses know this. They don't just sell products. They sell identity. They sell escape. They sell the feeling that you are becoming someone. So when you're financially behind, it's not always because you don't understand money. Sometimes it's because money became the fastest way to feel like your life was moving, even when it was quietly slowing you down. Most people imagine financial problems as one big mistake, some dramatic moment, a terrible purchase, a huge loss, a bad decision that ruined everything. But for a lot of people in their 20s, the damage is quieter. It's the food delivery when cooking feels exhausting, the subscription you forgot about, the quick convenience charge, the random online order, the extra drink, the ride because you didn't feel like walking, the small upgrade, the it's only $12, the it's only $20, the I'll make it back. And individually, none of it feels serious. That's the problem. A small leak never looks like a flood while it's dripping, but over weeks and months, the pattern starts showing. You don't know where the money went, because no single purchase feels guilty enough to remember. There's no villain, no obvious disaster, just 100 tiny exits, and that creates a strange kind of confusion. You worked, you got paid, you didn't buy anything crazy. So why are you still broke? That question can make people feel like they're bad with money. But sometimes, they're not bad with money. They're just not watching the small doors it keeps leaving through. And you don't always need a complicated budget to fix that. Sometimes you just need to see the leaks clearly. Not to shame yourself, not to become obsessed, just to stop pretending small. Spending stays small when it repeats. Because repetition is where money changes shape. One subscription is nothing. 5 subscriptions become a bill. 1 delivery order is nothing. 3 a week becomes a lifestyle. 1 impulse buy is nothing. A habit of impulse buying becomes missing savings. The most dangerous part is not feeling behind. Most people feel that at some point. The dangerous part is what that feeling makes you do. Because when you feel behind long enough, you can start acting like the race is already over. You stop checking your account because it stresses you out. You stop saving because the amount feels too small. You stop learning because it feels too late. You stop trying because everyone else looks too far ahead. And that's how a feeling becomes a strategy without you realizing it. You start avoiding the basics because the basics feel too small compared to the gap in your head. But most people in their 20s are not actually behind. They're early. That's the part that gets lost. Early does not always feel powerful. Sometimes early feels messy, unstable, embarrassing, slow, like you should have more figured out by now. But your 20s are not supposed to look like the finished version of your life. They're where the patterns are being built. The danger is not that you don't have everything yet. The danger is repeating habits for 10 years because you thought being behind meant nothing mattered. But everything matters more when you're early. The small savings matter. The first investment matters. The budget you actually look at matters. The debt you don't take matters. The spending you question matters. The comparison you stop feeding matters. Because your 20s are not just about how much money you have. They're about what your money starts learning to do. Does it disappear? Does it serve old decisions? Does it chase feelings? Does it sit long enough to grow? Does it protect you? Does it give you options? That's the real shift. Not suddenly becoming rich. Not pretending life is easy. Not acting like discipline solves every external problem. Just realizing that being early is not the same as being behind. And once you see that, the pressure changes. You stop looking at everyone else's highlight reel like it's evidence against you. You stop treating your first paycheck like proof you finally escaped. You stop letting small payments quietly claim your future. You stop using spending as the only way to feel progress. You stop waiting for some perfect version of your life before you start doing the basic things that make the future easier. Because the future does not arrive all at once. It gets built in quiet decisions nobody sees. The grocery choice, the subscription cancelled, the credit card left alone, the first $25 invested, the budget you check even when you don't feel like it, the night you stay home. Not because you're boring, but because you're tired of paying for a version of yourself you don't even want anymore. And maybe that's the moment everything starts to feel different. Not because your bank account magically changes overnight, but because you stop treating your 20s like proof you're losing. You start treating them like the place where the pattern can still be changed. And that might be the part nobody tells you clearly enough. You're not behind because your life is still under construction. You're only in danger when you stop paying attention to who is building it.